Chris!
Heath.
I'm a wanted man.
Really?
No, it's just my speeding tickets are causing me grief.
I've heard a little bit about this.
Yeah, what? Who?
From you when we got dinner last weekend.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you already know. Okay. Well,
sorry, some of the surprise is ruined.
Yeah, so I just wanted to let everybody know, if you get more than 2 speeding tickets, it starts to rack up. So kids listening who feel the need for speed, keep it on the Automania board game, because the toll that it's taking. I haven't told Bailey.
Ooh.
Yeah, but good thing she doesn't listen to this podcast. What podcast is this?
This is Mobius Tubes, a video game podcast. Episode 71 being recorded on March 5th, 2022.
We have to reach episode 100 by the end of this year.
Oh, we're not going to make it, dude.
Or I will kill myself. No.
My only automobile incident of interest was on the way here, actually. I was right behind this caravan of like 4 vehicles.
I thought you were going to say refugees.
No, thankfully not. Not in our town. 4 vehicles that were
Wait,
trying
what?
to...
Okay. Whoa.
I'm just saying, thankfully...
Wait, is that a redlining joke?
I was just trying to be thankful that like there aren't armed conflicts locally that would produce refugees in our town.
Okay, I'm glad. Okay, I'm your PR rep.
Yeah,
all right,
thank
continue.
you.
So automobile.
4 vehicles that they were stopping right in the middle of the road. People were lackadaisically getting out of the cars. It looked like they were trying to chase down a dog.
Oh, yikes.
And they were blocking traffic. It wasn't good. One guy, don't know if he was related. He was on foot. Like he might have just been a runner, but he might have been pursuing the dog.
Yeah.
The dog was just going wild. Small dog, white. Hopefully that gets resolved, but I got past them. That's my car story.
Whoa. Oh, my gosh. What a happenstance.
Yeah.
Now, how can you say that you haven't been racing around town looking the way you look right now?
It's the Gopnik squatter
Gopnik
outfit.
is back.
Yeah, it's back.
And you match your shaker bottle. This is deliberate, right?
Oh yeah, it's all to create one cohesive color scheme.
This is the spring fit for 2022. You're dripping.
Thanks.
And not just on account of your beverage.
Yeah, I've got my creatine going.
How
Gotta
much
get big.
Tren do you use?
I don't use any.
Non-zero amount. The fact that you know what Tren is a red flag in itself.
I've led you astray. I have no idea what Tren is.
Tren is it's not synthol and it's not steroids. It's like the even worse variety of those
even
two.
worse.
Yeah, the Tren is awful.
Okay.
I went to the gym with Seth, right? Because he's training for the football combine.
Yeah.
And I asked him, when do we use Tren? And he goes, ask that guy. And he pointed to the most like unhinged biker, beard down to his lifting belt, most guttural back-seated row.
That's a funny response.
And I was like,
I like that.
I understood what he was suggesting.
Speaking of working out with Seth, have you recovered from your SCAP series injuries?
Oh, yeah. Was that last episode?
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
That was last episode.
Okay. No, the only thing that's plaguing my lifting career right now is my appendix.
Right. We're full of updates.
We're
Just
full.
Hit them with it, Heath.
So I woke up one Monday morning with the gas. I needed to relieve myself, but...
Games as a service?
No, thank you. But no matter how much I was pooping, I still felt this feeling of just sort of like bloated, but and I was like, oh, it'll subside after a day. I took like 120 milliliters of Pepto-Bismol and a couple of simethicone, and that didn't fix it after 2 days. So I go to urgent care, and she goes, oh, you're feeling nauseous, surely. And it's like, no, I'm hungry. And then she's like, well, you must have a fever. And it's like, no, I'm fine. Okay. What happens if I poke right here in my lower right quadrant and I go significantly different? She goes, yeah, go to the hospital. So I go to the hospital and they do me an ultrasound. I was going to get a CT scan, but because of my thin frame, my light build, an ultrasound would be able to see through to the hot zone that is my appendix, which did have tiny rocks in it, appendicoliths. So it was good to take it out. It like if I was a pilgrim, maybe, because it hadn't ruptured or anything.
Okay.
Like that's when you get to like the 8 or 9 pain, but it was just like a constant 3. They were like, okay, yeah, definitely we're going to get this out. We're going to do it tonight.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, great, one and done. It was like a drive-through. Bailey was telling me that like they don't usually do surgeries at like 10 o'clock at night. So I lucked out. And I was out of the hospital the next day.
Why were they so eager to act immediately?
I don't know.
Okay.
And Bailey, sure, obviously, because my fiance is a nurse, one of the patient care tech people that wait, is that derogatory? Healthcare people are really proud of their titles.
Very particular.
Well, yeah, if you call a resident a PA or a registered nurse like a PSR, they'll be like, what are you talking about? I got this certificate. Yeah, anyway. So one such healthcare professional who's obviously a friend of Bailey's was like, yeah, I had to do this appendix late at night. And it's like, I know who that is, says Bailey. So yeah, I'm back to, I should be able to lift like it never happened.
Okay, great.
It's been so many days. So yeah, and that's back injury. Yeah. Oh man. Word to the wise, everyone who's listening to the first 10 minutes of this episode: don't speed. Don't do way too much weight when you're doing the bent over row with your brother because you want to look like the big trend man. And
don't lose your dog in the streets.
And don't keep your dog on a leash. Wow. What a public service this is.
What words to the wise.
All right.
So, video games.
Wait, you have 2 bottles?
Yeah, that's...
How hydrated are you?
I need to make the most of this creatine and drink like 10 glasses a day.
Oh, what? Because otherwise it's you're not engorged?
I need that muscle water retention.
Okay, that's what it is. Yeah. Okay. Wait, okay, so what? Is it vanity or no?
Vanity is definitely a major appeal. However, it also is supposed to give you like 5 to 6% more strength.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Chris is drinking it for the performance. Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Well, if I looked like that, I would start buying.
Ah, you're too
creatine.
kind.
All right.
Yeah, video games, they're back, Heath.
Yeah, I don't know why we just spent a hot 10 minutes talking about IRL stuff.
When February has been the hottest month for video games in the past 2 years.
You say that, but I'm much more looking forward to March, April.
Really?
Well, yeah, because that's Death Stranding Director's Cut and 13 Sentinels.
Oh, yeah. All right. So
I want my games to come out.
You want those old game ports to arrive.
Not this Horizon Forbidden Zero.
Yeah, or Elden Ring. Pooh.
Ugh.
But
you've played neither of those.
Yeah, I haven't played new games,
Okay.
Heath. Who do you think I am?
Yeah, we'll get to those in 2024.
We'll get to those in the news segment a little bit, probably.
Yeah.
But we can talk about what we have actually been playing. Heath, why don't you do the honors?
Oh, okay. The most, what Chris is most eager to get through. Wait, should I blitz through Mass Effect or can we get Wordle out of the way?
Let's have an appetizer of some Wordle.
Okay, yeah, because we got to talk about it. Who knows if it'll still be around in a year? It might be like a flash in the pan like HQ Trivia was.
Although we talked about that for years.
Oh, we did, yeah. And HQ's, it's still going on. The best part of Wordle is its simplicity. For the future, for people listening to this from their spaceship, Wordle was the hottest game in 2021 in which you're guessing 5 letters for a particular word, and it'll indicate which letters you get, and you only have 6 tries. We are in the zeitgeist, and
purchased by New York Times, right?
that's how you know it's good. It's purchased by New York Times. We're waiting for New York Times to purchase
this podcast.
That's how you know it'll actually be good. I did the Wordle at like 1 a.m. this morning, in fact. The thrill of it, because there's ways you can cheat, obviously. You can guess words like adieu or audio, which use an insane number of vowels. I've never seen that many vowels. And that'll sort of like get you on the right track immediately.
Is that cheating, or is that just that's smart play?
No, that's gamesman. That's watching 2 AIs play chess. It loses the heart of the Wordle.
Surely, after you've played enough hands of Wordle, you probably have like your go-to starter words, right?
Yes, and in fact, there have been no shortage of statistical probability 20-minute videos indicating that the best word is crane.
Crane.
Crate?
Those only have 2 vowels.
Right, but it's all a matter of the combination of the first 2 words you do. So let's say that you know that the word starts with an S from your very first guess. Oh, what a jackpot. I got it. You'd be a fool to guess the following word with an S in the front.
Sure, yeah.
You want to use your second attempt to knock out all the H's, the C's, the letters that would accompany an S on occasion.
You're not going for the kill on your second guess.
No.
You're saving that for later.
In Wordle, par is 4. If you get it in 3,
That's a birdie.
200 IQ. Yeah. If you get it in 1, you're really lucky.
Yeah,
And then,
yeah.
If you see all these hot shots posting to their Twitter and Facebook 5 green boxes, you'll know that they're taking creatine of the brain. So I'm crushing Wordle. My favorite thing nowadays is just pick a word that is contextual to whatever I'm doing. So I'll lead into Mass Effect is getting pushed into the outer reaches of space, literally and figuratively. I used the word blind as my initial guess for Wordle, which was so fortuitous because I got like 3 of the letters green right off the bat. They were in the right spots, and I got it in 2. Just how insane luck. But the reason I used the word blind is because I had the good fortune ? Of watching Love is Blind last night, season 2.
Okay.
I come home from work. Bailey's got it on the flat screen, and she's pumping her fist. Not necessarily to my chagrin, because this show is like crack. How much have you watched The Love is Blind?
I have watched it not at all, but I've heard a lot of positive things about at least the first season.
Some sort of like UK reality show in which 2 bachelorettes, they hear only each other's voice.
Right.
Behind a would-be confessional blue wall. And they have to speed date. It's a Rochambeau of revolving door of suitors. And for the first 3 episodes, you just watch the trickle of engagement proposals come in. And you get to see, so when you propose to someone and they say yes, you then get to meet in person.
Yeah.
And judge whether or not they're the 9 they sounded like. Then they send all the contestants to Cancun. Sorry, the ones that got hitched. And then their wedding is like in 4 weeks. And it's like, oh, can you survive to the wedding, or will your superficial nature get the better of you?
Yeah.
So I'm watching this with Bailey, and it's just hitting the same dopamine rush of people watching.
Mm-hmm.
Half of it is sort of enjoying the cute ways that they're trying to be affectionate in this very situational circumstance. But mostly it's just judging Shake is his name.
Shake.
Well, his name's like Abhishek, but
Okay.
he goes by Shake. Just being the most slimy, he's just a worm of a person.
Really?
I don't like this is a consensus as far as I'm concerned. He's like an Asian guy, or Indian. He's subcontinental. Let's put it that way. He matches up with Deepti, who's a very sweet, nice-looking woman. But Shake's main thing is, Shake wants a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, thin girl that he can, quote, put on my shoulders at a music festival. He's so set in his ways, and he wants, like, he's like, can I carry you? He definitely wants the petite, blonde, California Valley girl.
Okay.
And Deepti is like another attractive subcontinental person. And so on their first meeting, it's the honeymoon phase, and they're all over each other, and he grabs her mandible and he's like, I'm gonna get you pregnant. And it's like, oh wow, I mean, but another knock on the show is you can absolutely see the producers and the director behind the screen being like, now fiddle with your engagement ring to indicate that you're having second thoughts. Like, you can see it's so scripted and editorialized just because my background. But man, the characters in the show don't 180. I just said characters, the contestants. They don't 180. They 360. They're so quick to be like, I want to spend the rest of my life with you, Natalie. I love you. Oh, why are you such a bitch to me? Like, and it's total. I would never have tuned in had Bailey not been next to me going like, yeah. So, I don't recommend Love is Blind season 2. Bailey was telling me season 1, same formula.
Okay.
Yikes times 2, because it's season 2. Anyway, Wordle.
So that was
done.
Wordle.
Love is Blind done. Can I squeeze in another TV show before I talk about Mass Effect?
Of course you can.
I also watched with Bailey. This is all I have time for. The Woman in the House Across from the Girl in the Window. That is the title of the show.
All right.
Yeah. It's a Netflix. So is Love is Blind. It stars Kristen Bell, who you know as the voice of Anna in Frozen.
Yeah.
Kristen Bell is this artist. She's an amazing painter. She marries this handsome black guy who is an FBI psych evaluator type guy.
Okay.
They have a kid together, and they're the happiest family ever until their child dies at the hands of a psychotic cannibal that is in the same room as her, and the FBI investigator, he gets paged and he has to go talk to like the warden of the psych asylum prison.
Yeah.
And this is like played completely straight. He steps out, the door, which is like security lockified, closes behind him. Oh, they don't have the keys. And so the daughter is in the same room, and you see the serial killer like lick his lips, and end of scene, and it's implied that he ate her. And that's what drove Kristen Bell and her husband apart, because the tragedy of it. So she moves into this house, and there's a hot guy, a hot single dad that moves across from her.
Uh-huh.
And she's like eyeing him with a full glass, like one of the wine glasses that you can hold the whole bottle's worth of wine.
Oh, sure.
She's just sipping and watching hot single dad shirtless on his exercise bike, and is like, I want that family. Ugh. So she bakes him a casserole and brings it over, and they start to rekindle, and then, oh, I dropped the casserole dish. Oh, I'm such a klutz. They both go to pick it up, touch hands. Ooh, tension. And then she fantasizes about, oh wait, this show has one pocket of gratuitous nudity, or not nudity, just like verbose sex, but it's all in her head. And so the following day, she goes across the street, and he has this hot young flight attendant lady is like, oh hi, I'm Linda, I'm his girlfriend. And then Linda inserts herself in the hot neighbor's life, and it totally wrecks Kristen Bell, who thought that she was finally going to get that happy family that she misses. So she's butthurt about it, and is looking through that same window from before, and she sees the hot flight attendant Linda lady one night in the window of across the street, clutching her blood splurting throat, and like Linda's waving to get attention, and then she collapses, and Kristen Bell calls. Meanwhile, Kristen Bell is like mixing medications and alcohol and the wine before, so it's like, it's a real, like, the sky is falling, Chicken Little, like, who's gonna believe this woman? And, like, the producers of the show are really, like, making the audience feel like that with visual gags involving the epitaph on a tombstone keeps changing. And Bailey pointed it out, and I was like, no way. And it was like, I was passing judgment on her for being right. And it's like, ooh, man, this show is awesome. It has that really, really sexual scene in the middle, but tune in. Don't watch Love is Blind. So anyway, she calls the police and is like, help, I just watched a murder happen. And the police come, and they're all like, yeah, we know who your husband was. We know that this is trauma from the child getting turned into a Scooby snack. And so it's the rest of the show is Kristen Bell detectiving, holy shit, the hot single dad across the street killed the flight attendant hot girlfriend because she was in cahoots with a handsome Mexican strip dancer, and then strip dancer like comes to Kristen Bell's house, and it keeps going, and watch it. Oh, she's afraid of the rain. She has to go out in the rain. She's clawing through the soaked streets at night to go save the day when the daughter is threatened. Like, ooh, yeah, watch the woman in the house across from the girl in the window.
You just need to remember how long that title is.
Yeah. And there's a season 2 teaser.
Oh, okay.
Where she has the same, like, mixing medication, alcohol, what's real. It's like a supernatural almost. Okay, that's all the TV show I've been watching. Are you ready for video games?
We're going at a breakneck clip here.
I'm going as fast as the USS Normandy through space towards the Sharjila system. Mass Effect kind of pooping at some points.
Ooh.
Okay, so yeah, here we go. This is Mass Effect 1, right? So
Sure.
Where did we leave off? My Commander Shepard just got spectered up. He hadn't even left the Citadel. Wait, no, did he? No, he got on the Normandy, and then you have the smattering of a dozen star systems. And it tells you to go to Novaria to kill the matriarch or something.
Maybe find Liara.
Yeah, no, Liara's over on Tungus Bungus.
Theros?
What am I? Yeah, yes. Wow, excellent memory.
Thank you.
I loved my time on Novaria.
Okay.
Because Novaria was this sort of like very capitalist, very laissez-faire. It's run by the administrator, who's not really a governing body. Everybody's kind of taking their cut of the business.
Yeah.
Ooh, great. So much intrigue. You're going behind the administrator's back. I'm talking to that one guy by the garage who had no point in the story, but he was just cool to talk to and get more of the atmosphere. I loved it. Nameless not Terran. What the heck?
Turian?
Turian. Thank you. Because I want to get into the garage, but
Yes.
I need a friggin' Disney Plus fast pass. And then like there's goons ransacking Dr. Turian's office for proof that the administrator is like taken got a blank check from Saren to develop the special gas.
Yeah.
So I go in and I kill all the mercenaries. I eventually it was during this last playthrough that I figured out how equipment works.
That is hard to figure out, actually.
Yeah. Like I didn't know it was the stat comparison. Also, who makes Mass Effect? BioWare?
Yes.
I knew the answer to the question.
Yeah.
BioWare. Who did you put in charge of the weapons comparison page? Why is when you have two laser rifles, and you're comparing their accuracy, fire rate, and damage output, worse is red, but why is better yellow and no change green? Who did you put in charge of this screen, BioWare?
Yeah.
You tell me this is the only improvement in 2 and 3.
The inventory in 1 is laughably bad. In the original 2007 release, Heath, it was even worse. The remaster improved it.
What?
Yeah.
What do they do? Did they do like an Agent 47? You have to scroll past every gadget?
Menus were more cumbersome. It took longer to make swaps. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a glaring flaw in the
Because I
game,
ended up
for
getting
sure.
really good. I became like the Omni-Gel factory for 8 minutes, just blitzing through these. Also, do you take your gear off of your Krogan to put it on your Liara? Because I don't. I just leave it on.
I will swap it between some members. Some gear is incompatible. Like, I think there's specifically Krogan armor, maybe, that Liara wouldn't be big enough to wear.
Unless
She drank some creatine.
Turns into this big blue ball. Anyway, I just rescued Liara too.
Nice.
She's not as hot as I thought she'd be.
She gets hotter as the games go on.
Excellent. That's what we want from Mass Effect. I'm coming back to Novaria. We haven't even touched. Oh yeah. Okay. What's the company that it invests in Site 52 on Novaria? It's like Ungus Bungus, and Saren is like the CEO.
Sorry, I don't remember.
Yeah, you take a trolley over to the black site, and it's crawling with Rachni, who are these big roaches. At one point, a sympathetic scientist is like, "Oh, they have feelings, but these Rachni are were born without their mother." That makes no sense. Sorry, they were taken away from their queen hive mind bug mom, and they're stillborn. They're like they're just monsters at that point. So don't have any qualms with igniting the neutron bomb at the bottom of the hot labs, and then the security guard who's there is like, "I'm sorry, I have my orders from not Saren, or no, not the administrator. You kill all the cops on that planet because the cops are just as dirty as everybody else, right?" So they kind of avail you of that. You go back to Novaria, and you put the dirt in the eye of the administrator, mostly because his eyes are so big, because they're the race of. I love tuning into the codex and listening to the different races. I did that for at least like 20 minutes. It feels like.
Yeah, it's well written stuff.
Yeah, the narrator is like the Boingos, where they only live to 40 years old, and so they're the most cerebral of the celestial races. What are
the Solarians?
Solarians. Citadel races? No, council races.
Council races.
And then there's non-council races. There's like the Batarians.
Ooh, everyone spits on the Batarians.
That was okay. So I had seen Mass Effect before. I knew that Rex was a big frog monster.
Yes.
I knew that the Turians were kind of cool bird reptile people. And then I've even seen Mass Effect 2's races, like the slippery green guy who can't breathe oxygen and is slowly dying.
Right.
Stupid. Stain is the stupidest origin story. I haven't even met him. And Liara is the hot blue. And then but I looked at this Batarian and I was like, I've never ever seen like a promo photo or any Let's Play footage. I've had a massive amount of spoilage for Mass Effect. I don't know how Mass Effect 3 ends though. Yeah, interestingly.
Saving the best for
I know
last.
that a Reaper is involved. So I'm like, wow, look at these Batarians. Sorry, I mentioned Batarians 20 times and I haven't even described them. They got 4 eyes, but they're not as cute as the Outer Wilds guys. They're like orangish for the most part, and they have like sharp teeth and wrinkly heads. So you're, wow, I just love listening to this and hearing about how, the jellyfish race will live on a mostly wet planet. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Sorry. That made it sound stupid, but I really like it tuning in. Oh, I gotta go back to Novaria to smuggle his package through customs because I'm a little bit of renegade. I don't know yet. So I'm loving Novaria. Oh, okay. So you meet the Rachni Queen. Back to the roaches. The Rachni Queen does the Independence Day. You've seen that movie, right? She does the Independence Day. You possess a human being and speak through their vocal cords and are like, we do not know. Like, I was born of an egg that was on a meteor because previously, I love the characters in Mass Effect. I'm so glad they exist. What an uncontroversial opinion. So you have Rex, who's my favorite character, by the way.
Cool. Good choice.
I enjoy Rex being like, give me something to kill. I won't stand for this. I'm here to collect my bounty. Kind of. He's the coolest. So I bring him along for the kill the matriarch big boob lady. And we get rid of her, but then the Rachni Queen is like, please spare me. I'm sorry that all my children that were taken from me became horrible bug people. They're going to stay horrible bug people, but they will remember your forgiveness. And Rex is like, so many of my big frog people died during the Rachni Wars when they were basically the galaxy's exterminators.
Yes.
And they're like, don't make the same mistake by letting this bug queen go. And I'm like, I'm gonna let the bug queen go. I did, yeah. The morality choices in Mass Effect are not bad. I sometimes did want to smuggle a thing for a nice jellyfish because I didn't respect the Novarian government. And then, yeah, the characters that they choose to flesh out are cool. I wanted to be cool with Rex, but I couldn't let him just do a basic genocide. So I waved goodbye to the bug queen. And Rex is like, this changes nothing. My people will just round him up and kill him. And like, There's no telltale Rex will remember that or Fallout like Rex disliked that. But yeah, for 2007. Nice story mission. I'm enjoying it. I leave Novaria and I go to Asteroid X-57, which is also awesome because you meet a Batarian.
Oh, right.
And Shepard takes one look at them when they're feeding their shark dogs, and he's like, Batarians. And I was like, because I caught a glimpse of them, and I was like, I know who those are because I read the codec. And then he reacts negatively, and I'm like, I'm going to react negatively now. I was like, oh, wow. And then immediately like, get him! It's like, I hate these guys now. I let Balak go. Did you let Balak go to save the hostages on the asteroid that was gonna hit the planet?
Well, I've played Mass Effect
This is
three
the
times.
most innocuous side quest in the first 10 hours of the game.
That Asteroid X-57 is actually DLC, so it wasn't part of the main game.
Legendary Edition.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You know what? That does taste like DLC in
Doesn't
retrospect. Yeah. No, just like, I mean, there's a lot of Mako driving, which is kind of, Mako is your Batmobile. Yeah, the leader of the Batarians. Well, first of all, no, I met up with Churn, who's like the second in command. And Churn is like a reasonable Batarian. If I was an alien in if you were an alien in Mass Effect, I'm going to throw this back at you. If I was an alien, I think I'd want to be a Batarian.
Oh, really?
But like in a likable way. I'm like the one Batarian that you don't hate and you work with reluctantly, and then I'm like, you humans aren't that bad. I don't know.
That's fun.
I mean, like, yeah, you can't choose to be a human in Mass. You got to be a freak out alien.
Yeah,
but who would you be?
Who would I go with?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a fun question.
I mean, the easy answer is like, I'll be a big Rex Dino Frogman.
Yeah, no, I don't think.
It's the most fun.
I'd probably be maybe one of the Elcor. The big elephant-looking guys.
Delighted. I'm so happy I'm an Elcor. This was the best choice. Anyway, back to Mass Effect. So, great moral dilemma on that heckin' asteroid, and then I get a call from Star Command, and they're like, hey, we need you to go to the moon. There is a rogue virtual intelligence, rogue VI that has taken over our 3 little moons.
Stations. Yeah.
You got to take this VI offline. And I'm like, 10-4. So I fly to Earth's moon. I didn't go to Earth yet. I imagine that's got to be like a huge space.
Yeah, you would think.
I go to the moon. And immediately I'm like, oh man, I really hate it when I pick my buddies because I have 6 to choose from, and I don't pick the guy human or the freaking robot, and I land on the moon's crust, and there's like a literal Sputnik satellite that I could salvage for gear, and I can't do it because I didn't bring those guys, so I need a tech specialist. That's like, it really kind of sucks the fun out of it because I guess it's like, do you want that gear or do you want the firepower that comes with picking a Rex or an Ashley?
Yeah,
I do like Ashley. Ashley ranks higher than Liara on the companions on the what's Persona called? It's
Confidant. Social links.
Yeah, I'm more confident. I have more social link with Ashley currently. So I roll the Batmobile onto my moon base, and I'm killing the enemy like watchtowers.
Yeah.
And then I go into the moon base, and the moon, like in real life, is very quiet. But it's like way too quiet. And I'm thinking like, oh, this is a booby trap. And sure enough, it was. There were like 5 turrets that immediately fired upon me. And that was the most, I started to second guess like, oh, is this side quest outside of my level?
Oh, okay.
Like, should I go do the story mission to rescue Liara so I have enough experience to handle this? But I was like, it's going to be a pain to drive back here after I go do that. So as long as I'm here, I'm just gonna like kind of save scum a little bit. It took me I got really familiar with the like tones that happen when you die and you have to pick your last save.
Oh, got it.
That's what that. Yeah. You're not. No, I
thought you were just making like moon station ambient music.
There was none.
There was none.
There was like none. And so I was like, is this deliberate? But after killing the first wave of turrets, and then you go and you see like there's a little control box, like a power conduit, and you shoot it, and then a little text box appears that says poisonous gas is being emitted in the space
station. Yeah.
And then you exit out of that text box, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, where?
But then your health.
Am I feeling it? Yeah, my health goes down like I don't even pay attention to my health half the time. That's half the reason I die so often is because I'm just focusing on hitting my target, and it's like, oh, my health ran out. So I'm shooting these power things, and I was like, okay. And then I go to 2 of 3, and the turrets are like slightly stronger. And then I shoot I kill them. I shoot the generators that are powering the virtual intelligence. And then it's like, oh, now there's force fields are popping up all over, and it's just those little hexagons that the Geth use.
Yeah.
The Geth are like the droids in this universe, and so like these little hexagons that you have to that absorb a couple of shots before you get through it and kill. And I'm like, is this filler? This is really when Mass Effect just like ground to a halt. There's no cool music. There's no dialogue. All the story elements are being told through text boxes. Chris, what the how many of these are in the game?
Yeah, it's definitely side content, not the main story.
It was borderline not fun.
I can't blame you for that, especially since all 3 of the space stations you infiltrate are like copy and pasted.
Yeah, I get to the third and final base. There are these hexagon force shields that are just absorbing shots. It's just like lengthening this mission.
Yeah, arbitrarily.
And then I shoot the first conduit on. I get my final text box that says more turrets are on way. Like I would not just leave that mission unattended. Do missions carry over from game to game?
Yeah. In fact, this one has consequences down the line.
Oh!
So your efforts, that drudgery you had to endure, it's going to get rewarded in Mass Effect 2, I believe.
Oh, good. Awesome.
It doesn't excuse the fact that it's a really mundane mission.
It's a dead silent mission.
Yeah. The filler. So yeah, Mass Effect 1 shows its budget in some ways with like text filling in the context of what's going on.
My appendectomy was more fun than that mission.
A lot of the side stuff in Mass Effect, not all of it, but a lot of it is pretty. When you land
bare bones.
Yeah, bare bones. When you land on an unexplored planet and explore with your Mako, and then
I did Shargila.
There's like 1 or 2 different room interiors that exist in the entire solar system, and they're just copy and pasted.
Yeah.
It definitely shows its age. It shows its budget. Those are all massive improvements that Mass Effect 2 and 3 have remedied.
Oh, good.
But that's a very reasonable take, Heath. I'm not going to sit here and defend the moon mission, except for the fact that it does have consequences down the line.
Well, because I didn't even know mission accomplished. I thought that this mission unlocked specializations because I picked like Shock Trooper versus Commando.
It might do that actually.
But it also like that was just at the moment when my experience went from like level 10 to a level 11. So I couldn't necessarily.
I'd have vivid memories of unlocking specializations at exactly the same spot.
Oh,
so I think it is tied to the moon base.
All right, so I guess it was all worth it, but yikes, dude. And then I went to Shargila. It wasn't much better. Let me see. Did I say everything that I wanted to say? Again, too unskilled in electronics to salvage the crash landed.
You need to bring Garrus and Tali along.
But here's the thing. When I go to rescue Liara is like, watch out, there's a Krogan with these Geth. And I was like, I should have brought Rex so I could have heard their interaction.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I gotta bring Rex to every mission because I love hearing how his take on things. But when I do, I run across these literal circuit cities on these Shargilas, and I can't have the tech to raid their Omnigel. What does Omnigel do anyway?
It's how you heal yourself.
Heal your Mako or heal yourself?
Both.
Like crafting med kits?
Yeah, you can. There's a button to like use an Omnigel and replenish your health.
Okay.
But yeah, there's always an opportunity cost to who you take on this mission. Like, you want the story implications of everyone's opinions on what's going on, but you also want their individual skills for their firepower or their hacking or their biotics.
Yeah.
For crowd control.
It's tough.
You feel like you really want that third companion to come with you, but you only get 2.
Until Mass Effect 2.
Unfortunately, no.
Until Mass Effect 3.
Weirdly, they gave you 5 in that one.
5?
No, I'm just kidding.
God.
That's always just a trio of people, including yourself.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Andromeda.
Never played it.
And nor should you.
Yeah.
Okay, so on Shargila, I had to hack a rock. So hacking is like these
mini
terminals.
game.
Yeah. Case in point, I went to a stronghold on Shargila. It's just, and it was full of pirates, which are just alien races wearing red armor, so you know that they're bad. So you kill all the aliens, and then you go up to the computer on the second floor, and it's like, oh, these pirates are led by a close relative of this diplomat on the Citadel. So now I know when I go to the Citadel, I can cross-examine this person. So I'm just building up like a Citadel's worth of stuff in the galaxy, and then I think I'll just go back and just like the reckoning. I'll be like, here's your fetch item. Why were you related to this criminal? Like, and just boom, 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 boom.
That's cool. Yeah, the most recent Mass Effect playthrough I encountered that quest line in the opposite order. So I found the diplomat first, who shadily tries to maneuver you into removing this pirate gang, claiming that their relation, the leader, was kidnapped, but then you uncover that they're the ringleader. So I found that in a totally different order.
Oh, I like that.
But you found it's just as valid doing it in reverse.
Yeah, I chicken and egged. Okay. Ooh. Oh, wow. Cool. So yeah, back to hacking, right? So hacking is you're a little triangle, and you got to get through these rotating obstacles to get to the center. And so I come across this mineral, this big ore rock on the surface of Shargila, and it's like, do you want to survey this rock?
Of
and
course.
it does the hacking mini game as if that's how surveying works. So they really get a lot of mileage out of that hacking thing.
Once again, the budget, limited budget showing its face.
So that's been my time with Mass Effect. We just got Liara, and now we're on to other stuff.
Have you visited the colony on Pharos?
Yeah, you downhill derby in your Mako, and that's where it's the mining thing. It's where Liara is, right? No, Liara is in like Athens or Sparta.
I misspoke about the planet Liara was on.
I've been to Pharos. It feels like
okay.
I had to kill a bunch of Geth stalkers. Those freaking like crazy frog jumping robots that like silly string from one wall to the other wall. That's the coolest enemy type in the game.
Yeah, I can't. That's a good choice.
As opposed to just these big bulky boys that stand behind cover. I really like the ceiling dwelling
Geth.
Freako Geths.
Has Vermeer, the planet, been introduced at all?
Yes.
Ooh, you'll know you're in for a fun time when you land on Vermeer. Look forward to that.
Did I already?
I would assume no. It would have been in this update for sure.
Wait, no, I totally did. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. It was Vermeer, and the guy who greets me is like, "Help! We're fighting the Geth, and it's real rough. Come with me." And then he gets blown away by an ambush. And then you got to go talk to the Resistance.
Oh.
You clear out the tower.
I'm pretty sure that's Pharos.
Oh, that's Pharos. Okay.
So many Mass Effect planet names.
Yeah.
Can't blame us for getting confused.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was I loved your enthusiasm.
Fleshed
Great
out.
update. I look forward. Yeah, you're within striking distance of the ending. I think you're more than halfway.
What? No.
Yeah, I mean, it depends if you want to be a completionist and do all the filler. It would take a while, but I would caution you against doing that.
Oh, because what? More ramifications of the second game?
No, it's boring.
Busy work.
Mainline Mass Effect 1. If you want to be a completionist in Mass Effect 2 and 3, that's time well spent.
Well, the reason I made that pit stop at Asteroid X-57 on my way between Noveria and Pharos is because when you're in your ship, if you move your cursor to the far star system, it draws this red line that's like bounces between friggin' space warpos cannons.
The mass relays.
And I was like, well, if I was a space captain, I would just go one at a. I don't want to.
You want to conserve fuel.
I don't want to pass by these flyover galaxies.
Right.
Yeah, I hit them one at a time, and so that's how I met Balak, who I'm most excited to see in the next game.
Okay.
I hope they don't one and done him.
Time will tell.
Yeah. Okay. So that's Mass Effect. Boom. Under an hour.
Awesome. I'm gonna eat some turkey sandwich.
Yeah.
quickly.
Do it. Yeah.
Don't mind me. I'll be back. All right, back after that brief intermission.
Yeah. Hey.
I've put you on the spot a lot, Heath. You've been carrying this whole episode, and I really appreciate it. But I'll jump in now. I've been playing 2 games. I don't have massive updates for either of them, but I played a game purely because of the memes. I'm not joking. Have you been seeing these Metal Gear Rising memes on YouTube?
Not at all.
Really? So they were big in fall of last year, and they've just been circling me. Specifically, I'm talking about the protagonist of Metal Gear Rising, Raiden, punching Senator Armstrong in the chest.
Oh, those memes.
Those memes. You know what I'm talking about.
This is American football. Guys.
So I have played and completed Metal Gear Rising Revengeance.
Oh, I love that game.
And I have
never played it, but I've watched a playthrough twice.
It was great. So I've been reluctant to try it because I have very little attachment to anything Metal Gear.
What do you love Devil May Cry?
Sure. What does that have to do with Metal Gear?
It's got sword character action.
But Metal Gear is a stealth series. Metal Gear Solid.
You played
Snake.
Rising. Wait, sorry. What game did you play?
I played Rising. Yeah, I played the sword game, but it's a spin-off of Metal Gear Solid, a series of which has a convoluted history that I know nothing about.
Yeah, I played heckin' Ground Zeroes.
Like, wouldn't you have some level of reservation to playing a spin-off of a massive long-running series you know nothing about?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. But it is also a Platinum game, and I'm the resident Platinum Games fan on this show, so that's what suckered me in. I'm a big fan of, Bayonetta and Nier Automata.
Mm-hmm.
And Platinum Games usually have a gimmick. So for Bayonetta, if you execute a perfectly timed dodge, you get to go into Witch Time, the slow motion mode that lets you really capitalize on dishing out damage. Vanquish, another Platinum game, its whole gimmick was slow motion sliding around. It's this third-person cover shooter that laughs at you if you try to jump into cover, because all the best shooting you have to do is like slow motion knee slides.
Yeah.
It's very kinetic, very fun. Nier Automata's big gameplay gimmick is that it's a game written by Yoko Taro, so the whole time you're playing it, you've got to play through the tears in your eyes. Really, really tough to do.
That's good.
So the gimmick for Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, the game I've played most recently, is Blade Mode.
Yeah.
You know about Blade? You know about Blade Mode.
It's also slow motion.
It is. Platinum loves their slow motion. After building up a meter enough, your protagonist, Raiden, this sword-wielding, cybernetic-enhanced ninja.
How much of him is human? It's like his forehead, his right eye.
He starts off having a human
his
jaw.
nose?
He loses his jaw early on.
So yeah.
You get to make precision sword strikes with like you have full 360 degrees of control of like how you angle the blade, which means it's basically a character action game meets Fruit Ninja.
Yeah.
And I was awfully impressed by the simulation component of the game. This is a 360 era game, Xbox 360. And they're running the simulation where each sword strike is actually like cleaving that part of the object in parts. This applies to enemies. This applies to objects in the environment.
Yeah.
So you can like just hack up a palm tree.
You turn bosses into mincemeat in this game.
Yes. And meanwhile, there's this count. Whenever you enter blade mode, there's this counter on the side of the screen telling you how many individual pieces you have sliced the object into. It is a childish, it's a power fantasy for sure.
Yeah. Well put.
It's ridiculous power fantasy if you just slice up anything into a million tiny pieces and then it collapses to the ground. There's no doubting that it's a lot of fun, and it can be used tactically at times. Like there will be times where, you get extra experience for separating certain body parts from certain enemies.
It's a real like Z targetable weakness. Find the stress point.
Yes. You can disable certain enemies' mobility by like hacking off their legs. You can remove certain attacks from an enemy's repertoire by removing like a turret on them. It is not all gimmick. It is actually a mechanically satisfying idea. And I appreciated that a lot. It is very by the books platinum fare, a very level-based linear progression. You're just fighting enemies in arenas.
And you get a style rating for like each section.
Right. Instead of a Devil May Cry like SSS style rating, you get a Metal Gear like A minus B kind of rating.
S is still the best.
Yeah, you're right. S is still the best.
Yeah.
When isn't it? So yeah, mechanically, I had a great time with this game. It does the only other thing that's worth mentioning about it mechanically, it's mostly a straightforward action game. It has a pretty novel approach to parrying. Most games, if you try to block an enemy's attack and hit them back, there's like a dedicated button for that. But what Metal Gear Rising does, it's slightly unconventional. To parry, it's your normal attack button, but you've got to simultaneously flick the left analog stick in the incoming direction of the attack you're blocking. So there's just this extra little layer to the whole blocking element of the game, where you've got to nail the timing and then B, also nail the direction. So it's a little more nuanced, a little more skill-based. I grew to like it. There's definitely a boss early on whose whole purpose in the game is this is the part of the game where you get good at parrying, because you could have gotten by without learning the mechanic properly up until then. It becomes very important.
Who, Monsoon?
It's Blade Wolf, the robot dog.
Yeah.
So what I did not expect, Heath, especially someone who knows nothing about Metal Gear, like Raiden.
Oh, it's full of funsies.
The story was great.
Yeah.
It was. It is so cheesy.
It's
but
Metal Gear
so
story.
entertaining.
Yeah.
There's long cutscenes. The bosses are all highlights.
They're all quirky.
They're all fun character designs.
Oh wait, you literally mean the memes?
Yeah. So
Monsoon's speech.
Yeah, I mean, we'll jump to that right now. So Monsoon, one of the bosses, delivers the speech, which I assume was intended to be like tongue-in-cheek. It's about memes, right? And
like in the semantics definition of the word.
the like literal definition, not internet humor.
Yeah.
But he's talking about how memes are these eternal ideas that live on. Long after he'll be gone, his memes will live on.
Yeah.
And now then he goes on to say things like, free will's a myth. If you expose someone to anger long enough, they will hate. And meanwhile, I'm thinking of the parallel. If you expose someone to enough Metal Gear Rising memes, they will eventually play Metal Gear Rising.
There you go.
And this joke speech ended up resonating with me because the whole reason I was playing this game was because of the memes. It became profound.
It was prophetic, yeah.
Long after this 9-year-old game that I passed by, had no intention of ever playing it, did live on because of the memes it spawned. and brought me back.
And because of the fun gameplay, like running down the clock tower to slice a big robot.
Right.
And the fun gag with Monsoon is his body is like held together by magnets effectively.
Right.
So you go to slice him and his arm like
Detaches.
whoop, from his torso unless you stun him or for whatever reason he turns into like he discombobulates and becomes like a Lego man. Did you stun any helicopters in your gameplay?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, that's the Metal Gear gag of a helicopter going like whoa.
It's wobbling back and
staggered,
forth.
yeah.
Because it's a vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very funny game. But the reason this is going to live on as one of my favorite Platinum games is because of
music?
the soundtrack by
Yeah,
Jamie
you
Christopherson.
love the music.
The music, it's so hokey. It's so good.
You played Rules of Nature on Mobius Tunes.
I don't know if I have, but
Yes,
it's
you have.
you know what? Did I?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Vividly.
Now Rules of Nature is like the third tier of the songs that I actually like from this game.
Oh, because what you like?
Hot Wind Blowing is great. It has to be this way. Stranger I Remain. Those are
these like the songs you hear when you fight Jetstream Sam?
That's the only thing I know for real.
Yeah.
That's also a good one. The music I'm referring to that I like so much are the boss themes, which flesh out these bosses into, somewhat of a three-dimensional character. The major themes of Metal Gear Rising are the reasons people go to war. Like, what is actually justification to fight?
For profit. Wait, what's the line he says? It's the good old days after 9/11.
Yes. So, each boss has their own motivation.
Yeah.
Raiden claims to fight for the weak, although he gets challenged on that, and, it's like different philosophies clashing. It's cool. They deliver plot twists through some of the lyrics. I won't... I mean, it's an old game. Skip ahead if you don't want to know this, but Jetstream Sam, the penultimate boss fight. You encounter him in the tutorial, and he kicks your ass.
He's so cool.
He's the most confident, swaggering guy among
so stylish.
among the Winds of Destruction.
His quads are huge.
Yes, Brazilian samurai guy.
Yeah.
But when you first fight him, his theme plays, and it's purely instrumental. And it sounds badass, and you're like, oh man, this guy slaps. And then when you fight him for the final time, and the lyrics come in, you realize he's a broken individual.
Oh.
He's an amnesiac. He lacks any purpose in life. He's just trying to find a challenge, and that's why he fights through self-improvement and nihilism. The swaggering guy is a shell of a man, and it's delivered through the lyrics. It's delivering a plot twist through the lyrics about your characters. I wouldn't have given this game credit for doing something that cool.
Oh, wow.
And, I mean, the lyrics throughout are pretty cool.
Can you believe that he's not a cyborg like Raiden? He's just a guy.
Just a guy.
Unbelievable.
When you finally cut him down and Raiden's just like, oh, man, he had hardly any cybernetic enhancements.
Well, no, he has a cybernetic arm.
Right.
Are you interested now to play the Jetstream Sam DLC?
I've played it.
Yeah!
I played it and beat it. I like the main game more, but it was cool. He has his own moveset.
It was cool.
I heard in the Japanese version of this game, Jetstream Sam is the only boss you kill who bleeds red blood.
Yeah.
Because everyone else has been so...
Everyone's all spinal cord blue Gatorade.
He was the most human of all. Yeah, this game. And then,
Senator
Armstrong.
University of Texas.
Right, the Senator of Colorado. He's just... He lives up to all the memes. He was excellent.
Wait, when does he like field goal kick Raiden's head and you hear like a stadium cheer?
Yes, dude. He goes, don't mess with this, Senator, and then drop kicks Raiden.
And then
the
crowd
applause
is like, tweet, tweet, yeah, it's good.
That whole last 30 minutes with Senator Armstrong he's like one of the best video game villains. He just arrives in the last 30 minutes of the game and defines the whole game.
Remember when he like sumo stomps still in his suit and then rips off his shirt and he goes, nanomachine, son. The moment in the Jetstream Sam DLC with the nano machines, like,
Yes.
ooh.
When his arm, you're talking about his arm
oh my
gets
God.
cut off.
Yeah.
And he turns it into a spike.
Yeah. Oh, wow. What a crazy turn of events. Never again. This game is in a vacuum.
Right. It seems like it came out in 2013 and it's stuck there. There's no sequels.
It's solid corn. It's a thrill.
It's primo cheese.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Wait, what did you dress your Raiden up as? Did you use the sombrero costume?
I didn't have enough credits to unlock it, so I just played with the usual default outfit.
All right.
Sorry. Yeah, I will mention I played this on PC. Busted PC port. I had to install all sorts of third-party fixes. Like I couldn't get it to 1440p, which is my monitor's native resolution. It was capped at 1080.
A little
If
blurry.
I brought the game to full screen, it was getting like 25 frames per second. I had to play it windowed at 60 or full screen at like 25 until I installed a patch.
Awful.
Yeah, it goes to show 2013 Japanese PC ports. They were a different era back then. They were not nearly as good.
We need a remaster. We need a Halo Collection edition of Metal Gears 1, 2, 3, 4, V, Revengeance, but not Metal Gear Survive.
No.
Konami will never do that.
Sure, yeah, they won't. So that was Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, a game way better than I thought it had any right to be.
The memes.
And then I've also returned to Yakuza.
Yay.
This is the long-running Sega-owned franchise.
Sega.
Often confused as the Japanese version of GTA when it doesn't really
No, that's
share.
Sleeping Dogs.
Yeah, that's more Sleeping Dogs, I guess.
Wait, no, Sleeping Dogs is not Japan. That's China.
You're right, it is.
Sorry. Yeah.
But this is the Japanese super serious soap opera, heavy narrative-focused crime games that are also wildly goofy if you go stray off the main path. I played Yakuza 0, my first one, years back, and I loved it. It was so good.
Majima's origin story.
Yes, the prequel. And I was a little reluctant to dive into more Yakuza, only because I was intimidated at how many there were.
Well, yeah, what flavor do you go? Do you do Judgment or do you go on to Like a Dragon?
Yeah, like there's Yakuza's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Oh.
the reboot of 7, Like a Dragon. Then there's the 2 Judgment spin-offs. There's just this massive sprawling franchise. Yeah. And I had also heard that 0 may be the best one, so it kind of felt like going downhill. So after waiting years, I was finally ready. I felt like my palate had been cleansed. It had been long enough of a gap. I could dive back in, and I chose Yakuza Kiwami.
Yeah.
The remaster of the first game.
Yeah.
So this is picking up right after 0, and it's been very good. A departure from 0, you only play as one protagonist.
Why is Kiryu the best? Wait, I said his name right.
Kiryu Kazuma.
Yeah, why is he the baddest guy who ever lived? Well, he went to jail for his boss's rape of his friend.
Everything you said is accurate, but you mixed up all the orders. Kiryu, the protagonist, takes the fall for his friend for murdering his boss who raped a different friend.
Yeah, okay. That's a hero.
And goes to prison for 10 years.
Yeah.
And emerges. Yeah, he's just.
So what? He's like a fish out of water type of.
Yeah, he spent the years from 95 to 2005 in prison, and he's reemerged. He doesn't know what cell phones are.
Wow.
And like the entire organization of the Yakuza has changed. That's like the Japanese criminal underground. And it's a very, very serious story about 10 billion yen being stolen and power struggles and assassinations within the various sub-hierarchies of the Yakuza organization and rival clans coming in. And it's, deathly serious until you do any mission that's not a main mission. And then you do the goofiest stuff, which is the charm of Yakuza. This tonal whiplash of a game somehow works and lands on its 2 feet. So, for example, I've been playing this rock, paper, scissors Pokemon trading card game with a kid dressed as a professor in a Sega arcade, because the game is published by Sega. They actually have
they lean into that.
They have all the official Sega branding.
Right, and they heckin' have like Virtua Fighter and all these real games.
They have real arcade games in the arcade.
Much to the chagrin of real Virtua Fighter fans that have not gotten a mainline entry. Like, the best way to play it is in Kiwami.
Right. And you're like this 30-year-old man with a business suit playing against these elementary school kids. And they're like training you up. They're giving you new cards. And
wait, you're okay. This one little thing.
Yeah, I'm filling out. There's a whole book of trading cards I need to collect, which are scattered across town, which is this fun side activity. But I feel like the best encapsulation of how detailed some of the side stuff is the RC car racing sub-story, which I remembered from Yakuza 0 I played years back. There was a building you went into, and you could go and like race RC cars and like customize your car and buy new parts for it.
I think I've seen this.
Against some kids. And
it goes fast, right?
Yeah, it's the actual racing is fairly automated. You just have like a boost button. But the mechanical part is like tinkering with your car before the race.
Oh.
And upgrading it and try to like tailoring your car to suit the track you're going to be on. So it's a fun little side diversion. But what I had no idea what to expect here was, and this is fairly unique to Yakuza, all 9 entries in the series take place on the same few city blocks. So I returned to the same building with the RC car racing in it after, I believe there's a 17 in-game year gap between the events of Yakuza 0 and Yakuza Kiwami, which I'm playing now.
Oh, what? I thought you just said it was a continuation.
I mean, yeah, it's a continuation.
Oh, sorry. No, 0 is that's the origin. Yeah. Oh, it would. Yeah.
Prequel was 17 years.
It would be weird if
earlier.
Majima changed that much. Yeah.
Yeah. So I returned to the RC car racing shop, and it's still there. And I come across like the part-time worker there, and he's the same guy from 17 years ago. He used to be this optimistic, chipper teenager, and now he's a
budding, aspiring racer.
No, he's like this 30s approaching 40-year-old guy stuck in like a part-time job.
Oof.
And he's having marriage issues. He can't get parental approval until he has a full-time position, but he's still stuck at this racing car job.
Yeah.
And suddenly this throwaway side character from the previous game is being fleshed out in the sequel. And the kids you raced against, you find them across the city from the last game, and they're teenagers now having like relationship drama. And you're like, I used to race RC cars against these kids, and now I'm invested in their lives.
Wow.
And I'm like,
this is a mini game.
And this is a throwaway mini game.
This is like a side quest.
You are never told that you need to go into this building to race these RC cars. But if you choose to do that and you've played the previous games, all this context is like heaped upon you.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow.
That's why the Yakuza fans are such diehards, is because there's so much love put into these games.
There is so much love. The world is not very big to explore, but it is so densely packed with things to see and do. It kind of feels like you're actually on the streets
of Tokyo.
It's not Tokyo, but of a bustling urban Japanese city
metro center.
Yeah. I haven't finished the game. I'm halfway through, and it's great. It's the little things that really endear me to the game series.
Yeah, what's the mini game where you're holding like 2 ice cream cones, and if you go too fast, the ice it'll topple over.
Oh, really?
And you have to like navigate a crosswalk.
I have not played that.
Oh yeah.
There was a man who stuck in a toilet who ran out of toilet paper, and I had to run around town getting him pocket tissues. And every time I returned with pocket tissues, he would need a greater number delivered.
Like, oh, I need more.
And then you kept giving him more pocket tissues. Eventually, he emerges from the bathroom, and it turns out he's like a CEO, and he rewards you handsomely.
Yeah.
All the quests have these fun little twists to them, and they're so funny. And then, as soon as you're done laughing it up, handing a guy in a toilet pocket tissues, you return to the main game and watch a graphic murder happen in front of you.
Yeah, you have to brutally take down the patriarch of this one branch.
Right. Or you get enlisted in this underground to the death fighting ring.
You take off your shirts.
Yeah.
And flex your back tattoos.
Man, who thought of this game?
I think I'd like that one guy, the director. Well, I mean, Sega, the real Yakuza plays a role in Sega's development of this game.
I've heard they've consulted on it.
They've been quite charitable in their depiction.
Okay.
The charming Yakuza helping the people, you know,
the downtrodden.
It's not black and white as they portray.
Right. Cool. I've heard some maybe.
I will never play this game.
No, you don't need to. But
I'm too. Which one of these has Dami Dane?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
Who's Donnie Dome?
Dami Dane.
Oh, the song.
Yeah.
I feel like that's probably Zero.
Although
Although it might be a reoccurring song.
You're right. The Majima skin that can sing it is the Tuxedo Majima. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. That's
there's
all.
there's also like 2 other playable characters that I don't even recognize.
I believe for most of the entries, like 1 through 6, you're just playing as Kiryu.
Yeah.
But then 7 has a new protagonist.
Ah.
And then...
Oh, Ichiban.
Yeah, Ichiban.
Yeah.
Judgment, the spinoff, has its own protagonist.
These guys are like 40 years old.
Yeah. What's your point?
No, it's just cool to see it.
To play as like a 40-year-old
Yeah, you're
guy.
not a hot Nathan Drake Joel, or I guess Joel's a dad, but like, yeah, you're not like young, fit.
I mean,
video
you
game
are
man.
pretty fit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You're jacked.
Yeah, you're shredded. Have you seen the animations in Like a Dragon?
No.
Where Ichiban summons, because you know the RPG aspect.
Right.
He summons, like, you can summon Kiryu as an assist.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And so the animation for Ichiban, in all of its fantastical parody, he like pulls out his phone and then you zoom in on his pointer finger and he's like, time to call a friend, and he like brings it down hard on like the dial button, and then he forces his phone to the sky, and then the clouds drift in and it cuts to a cutscene of what Kiryu would do in this battle if he were summoned like an elemental.
Right.
Yeah, Yakuza is I admire it from afar.
Right. And I admire it from up close,
Up close.
for now. All right. Cool. That's all I had to say about that. So that's all we've been playing.
Yeah.
And how about we take a break and come back with some video game news?
Let's do it.
All right, Heath. Whew. A lot has happened since the last time we recorded.
Yeah.
So much.
What, geopolitically?
Yeah, I mean, in all senses of the word, a lot has happened.
Yeah. You know what I was going to do to support the war effort?
What?
Well, because you're seeing all these companies. Wait, sorry. I saw a tweet. You're seeing all these companies saying that, FIFA's banned Russia from soccer, the sport. And like, I saw this one tweet that was like, the International Kitty Conference is banning Russian cats from attending their events.
Yeah.
The most trivial activism. So anyway, CD Projekt banned sales of GOG in Russia.
Okay.
And so I was going to support the war effort and buy Cyberpunk.
Because it's fixed now.
Because it's fixed now?
The big update came out.
Oh.
It's a different game.
What do you mean it's a different game?
Oh, yeah. Bugs have been ironed out pretty much across the board, and lots of rebalance tweaks. I've heard things such as it used to be litter was scattered across basically
Particle effects?
things you would pick up and clog your inventory. There used to be an abundance of items for you to pick up.
Uh-huh.
That's been scaled back and streamlined. So now far fewer things for you to pick up, more meaningful things to pick up.
Better performance that way.
I guess when you originally started playing Cyberpunk, there was a quest log kind of dumped on you, and now it's doled out much more organically and at a slower pace, which makes the game feel more realistic, I suppose. Less overwhelming. Yeah, all sorts of little tweaks.
No more seizures.
Hopefully. So yeah, from what I've heard, Cyberpunk 2077 is a pretty good game right now.
There's never been a better value.
There probably has been better values.
Yeah.
It probably still sells
from CD Projekt. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad that by the time I get a fancy graphics card, I can play Cyberpunk with a peace of mind.
When will that be, dude?
Don't remind me. Okay. Probably, I'm going to say 2023 is my year. It's going to happen.
Ideally, yeah. That's actually a very realistic
I hope
forecast.
It's in Q1, but we'll see.
Lucky you, yeah.
You know, we should probably acknowledge the fact that 2 days after recording the previous episode, the largest acquisition in video game industry history occurred. Old news by now.
Oh, I almost forgot.
Yeah. We're not breaking this to anyone, but yeah, Microsoft purchased Activision Blizzard for $68.7 billion.
Wahoo.
Just to put this kind of in perspective for some, I know we have listeners who aren't that big into video games, but
that's why I talked about Love is Blind for 8 minutes.
Right, yeah, I'm sure they appreciate that. But Microsoft, the company that manufactures and is the platform holder of the Xbox, they've been buying up...
Makers of Flight Simulator.
Yep, and Halo and Forza. They've been in a streak lately of purchasing developers and publishers.
You can't beat them, buy them.
They've been taking that approach for sure. This acquisition of the publisher, Activision Blizzard, there is almost not a more surprising purchase that could have occurred. Like, what would be bigger than purchasing Activision Blizzard? The only two that come to mind was if they bought Sony or they bought Nintendo.
Epic.
Even that wouldn't have surprised me as much.
Oh, really?
No. I mean, they picked up Call of Duty. They picked up World of Warcraft and Overwatch.
That's nuts.
Diablo, StarCraft. Microsoft, they've got a monopoly on the FPS genre because now they own Halo and Call of Duty and Doom and Wolfenstein
that's interesting.
And Overwatch.
They do own Doom, yeah. Not if Battlefield has anything to say about it.
The only two holdouts are like Battlefield and Destiny, which funnily enough, Sony just purchased. They bought Bungie. But that's not nearly as big of a deal as Activision Blizzard.
And the latest Battlefield was a stinker.
Right.
The literal battlefield that is Ukraine is more fun than the latest Battlefield. Yikes. What does this mean for all my favorite Activision Blizzard games? Guitar Hero?
Yeah, they have Guitar Hero.
Okay.
Hasn't been relevant recently, but they own it.
Yeah. All right.
So what does this mean?
Is this your foot?
This is my knee.
Oh, that's your knee. Okay.
I don't like to see big consolidation.
Unless it's your macros.
Right, sure.
On a corporate scale.
Anytime competition is being removed, I feel like the end user, us, the consumer, we're going to pay the price. We don't know when that bill's going to come due or how we're going to be paying exactly. But I just think about it this way, Heath. Microsoft has been, all these acquisitions they've made, they've been throwing those games onto their service, Xbox Game Pass.
There's never been a better value.
It's an outrageous value, especially now that if you're a subscriber, you're going to get Call of Duty, you're going to get Overwatch 2 for free.
It's $12 a month?
I think it's in $10 a month.
Let's not check.
Yeah, it's in that ballpark. It's very affordable. Yeah. You get obscene value. But how is Microsoft going to make back $68.7 billion giving their games away like that? The answer is they're not, which means the real price we're going to be paying is down the road. Once they put the competition out of business, we're going to be in for a world of hurt. It's got to be that way. Microsoft has a fiduciary duty to make money. They're not altruistically going to be buying. They're not going to spend $70 billion to provide more value without more cost.
No, I like them subsidizing my entertainment.
Right. And, it's an open secret that Xbox Game Pass is not profitable.
Yeah,
Microsoft loses money on it. The most charitable word they're able to use to describe the service is that it's sustainable.
It's loss leading, yeah.
Yeah. So it's an inevitability that the Game Pass we have today is not the Game Pass we're going to have 5 years
So
from now.
get it while it's hot.
I guess so. But then if you just get your games that way and don't buy things a la carte,
What do you own?
I mean, there's a little bit of the ownership dispute as the end user because they can cycle games in and out of the service at will. You might be stuck without the games you were playing. That kind of sucks. But I was just thinking, like, games aren't inexpensive to make these days. So isn't there going to be some kind of like implication to paying way less for games that cost more to make? Like, someone's going to suffer there, right?
The indie devs? Sorry, you said games are way less expensive to make.
No, way more. They are more expensive to make. But if you're getting them through Game Pass, you're presumably paying way less than you used to.
Yes.
The cost of development hasn't gone down, so who's eating those costs? For right now, it's Microsoft. But that won't always be the case.
Uh-huh.
So either it's going to be shoved onto the developers and game developers will go out of business en masse, or shoved on the consumers. Video game
will
as
be
a hobby
$100 each.
will be absurdly expensive. The barrier to accessibility will be raised.
Yeah.
And
we'll have to find new hobbies.
The status quo will be shattered.
But until then,
Game Pass.
Until then, and then Modern Warfare 2 level up upgrade. The guitar riff that they use.
You were telling me Call of Duty has been delayed next year.
Oh yeah, it's not coming out in 2022.
I heard 2023.
Oh, so there is a Call of Duty this year, but not the next?
I heard Treyarch's game set to release in 2023 has been pushed to 2024.
Right.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, okay.
Which is almost a historical event. Right.
It's for as long as Thomas has been alive. I don't know. Wait, no. Yeah.
There has been a mainline Call of Duty game every year since 2005. 17 years now. There's been a Call of Duty like clockwork every year. We're finally going to miss a year.
Which is good for everybody.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. More games should not come out half-baked.
Plus, they can always fall back on Warzone. That's like an ongoing game.
Right, yeah.
And Call of Duty Mobile, which is still hot, I guess.
Yeah, they can survive on gas.
Yeah, I just think it's a little interesting that the very first time a Call of Duty game is getting delayed,
it's on the heels.
It's on the heels of Microsoft's purchase. I wonder if that was their decision.
They're just trying not to make a Call of Duty game that is the Metacritic equivalent of when the train derails in the World War II.
In World War II.
It's just boom, 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 the tower. Boom, boom, boom. That scene goes on for so long.
This
Do
is
you
like
remember
our,
that scene?
Oh, I remember it. We've mentioned it like 3 times on this show.
Watch out! And that scene is just a cartoon.
So what will the kids do in fall of 2023 when there is no new Call of Duty game?
Other games come out alongside Call of Duties.
I mean, yeah, it was mostly a rhetorical question.
They'll play the new Max Payne. That also has slow-mo. What is that, a platinum game? It's a Rockstar.
Originally Remedy.
Oh. But Remedy...
Alan Wake people,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Rockstar made Max Payne 3.
Oh, thank you. Okay, that's why. Thank you. Man, my neurons were like searching for the answer to that.
Yeah, you were right.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Cool.
Done. Activision Blizzard.
Yeah, done.
Wait, didn't we see footage of Overwatch 2? And it looks way too similar?
I know there was a cinematic. I don't know if there was gameplay footage.
Okay, all right.
What, did we talk about how Elden Ring is already the game of the year?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a Dark Soulser, but that game has the richest exploration excitement
since Breath of the Wild?
Yeah. Just explore. It is the most bountiful. Pick a direction. What is that on the horizon? Go to it. The bosses are fun. What's your favorite boss? I like the big pot.
I haven't watched much.
You haven't? Wow, because you're saving? Oh,
this is a game I will play.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Well, I can't spoil anything.
Yeah.
Because each person is, and neither can anyone else, because everyone's experiencing things out of order.
Organically.
Yeah. All I know is that the tutorial boss cannot be beat out the gate.
Okay. Because I'm not good enough.
No, it's just like it's way too tough. You got to come back when you're stacked.
The royal you can't beat it.
Correct.
Okay. I've been meaning to play more From Software games. I played Bloodborne.
Yeah, Metal Wolf Chaos.
oh yeah, that's a From Software game.
Thank you.
This is the one I've been most interested in. It helps that it's like tied for second most highly reviewed game on OpenCritic of all time.
Ooh.
It's sitting at like a 97 on Metacritic. It is just universal
Persona
acclaim.
5 Royal?
I don't know what it's tied with. I think the only thing it was behind on OpenCritic is Ocarina of Time.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just, yeah, I haven't felt this reaction to a video game since Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
There was a before Elden Ring moment, and there's going to be an after Elden Ring moment. That's how it feels to me at this point in the game anyway. Yeah, I'm jazzed to play it. I can't wait to explore the world. It's so unknowable, so opaque, really rewards discovery. And, you know, it might even, I haven't played it yet. This is just me making speculation. It might have discovery that exceeds Breath of the Wild's, only because with Breath of the Wild, when you saw something that was a little amiss and you went to uncover it because of your curiosity, most of the time you knew what you're going to be getting. It's going to be a new shrine to find, or maybe a Korok seed.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem to be the case with Elden Ring. You're going to find like a custom boss fight that you won't find anywhere else.
Certain enemy types are like area locked.
Right.
You're not going to find a Bokoblin or whatever the...
Bocklin or...
Yeah. This game makes Breath of the Wild look almost a little copy-pasted.
Just Breath of the Wild has a great open world, but what you find was a little repetitive.
The formula begins to materialize.
Right. Where this seems like everything was custom, handmade.
I mean, we're in the early moments, so surely someone's going to recognize a formulaic. This is a smash, moonshot, mega hit.
And it's like massive. Yeah. I hear people are hitting the credits at 80 hours played.
The map scales. You think that it's just like that space, and then you discover the red zone.
The red zone.
Anyway, yeah, shocker. Elden Ring's gonna... It's awards bait. It's gonna crush.
Like what competition? What could come up against it later this year?
Forbidden West. Forbidden West already tried to dissuade the less devoted Elden Ringers by having a release date really close.
Forbidden West is already on the curb, bleeding out. This killed it.
Aloy has like an arrow, like getting blood on her beard.
I'm just saying, when we sit down to predict Jeff Keighley's Game Awards 2022, what could be on our lips that's not Elden Ring for winning Game of the Year?
Death Stranding Director's Cut.
That won't be nominated.
I know. I wish in my fever dream.
Maybe God of War Ragnarok.
Ooh.
Could stand a chance.
Ooh.
And then there's the wild card of, does Breath of the Wild 2 come out this year?
Is that what about that West game? Not Horizon Forbidden, but the personality choosing.
You don't mean Weird West?
Weird West? Wild West?
Weird West is an isometric game that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. That's why I mentioned it, because I too am looking for it.
It's by ex-Arcane developers.
Right. Speaking of which, did you watch the Game Maker's Toolkit of the Groundhog Day level in Prey?
I saw that he uploaded it. He's like, the premise of the video is, wait, didn't Arcane already make Deathloop?
Yeah, they're like...
It's Prey's Moon Crash DLC.
Yeah, Moon Crash. He loves Moon Crash, dude.
And I haven't watched it because I've started Moon Crash and I intend to finish it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You intend to perfect it.
Possibly.
Uh-huh.
I do like Arcane an awful lot. I might just do that.
Which is why we are looking forward to Weird West, which could snag Game of the Year from Elden Ring. No chance. Elden Ring's going to crush it. Nope, no chance.
No way. Weird West won't have the cultural penetration.
No, but I'm gonna bite into it like it's a Disco Elysium that I won't spit out.
I didn't know you were so hyped for Weird West.
Isn't it have a cool like?
Oh yeah, I think it looks awesome.
Is it like a fun morality compass? Probably. It's like looks like a spectroscope.
Okay. Fun.
Yeah, I saw 2 seconds of it and I was like, yeah, gimme.
Yeah.
Okay, you're losing gas. All right.
Oh, it's okay.
All right. A new Pokemon.
Oh, right. Yes. Not Arceus. This is a new mainline Pokemon.
Right, coming out way too early.
Oh, when is it coming out?
Is it
this year?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
You need to lead this segment because I don't know anything about this.
Well, okay, you know the title of them, right?
No.
Okay. It's Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet.
Surely those have been used before, right?
No.
Okay.
No. I mean, you're familiar with red, blue,
green,
gold, silver, fire red, leaf green.
Yep.
And now they're doing Scarlet and Violet, which is kind of silly.
It's like sexier red and sexier purple.
But the reason it makes sense is because those two colors are featured prominently on Spain's historical flag.
Oh.
It's like the red, violet, and then like goldish yellow accent. Because it's going to be in Spain this time.
And Sword and Shield was in England, so now we're going to Spain.
Right.
And then next will be France?
Portugal.
Germany.
I don't know. Depends on how much of Europe is left.
Oh,
no.
Bringing it back.
Oh man. Hopefully Ukraine's still around. I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm just going to thoughts and prayers.
What, you're not going to neglect Russian cats?
I do give a chuckle to all of these menus renaming the Moscow Mule American Mule.
Oh.
Well, that's like a George Bushism. You've heard of freedom fries, right?
Right.
Yeah. They're doing that.
Because something happened with France?
France like wouldn't go in on the like invasion of Iraq.
Okay.
So George Bush like rallied the most wacky coalition of countries. It was like military superpowers like Poland, Trinidad and Tobago, like all of these wacky countries. And Bush, he was like, "Let's go!" And it's like, "Come on, France!" And they were like, "Just shut up." And then Bush was like, "Screw you, France. We're going to call them freedom fries." And it back to Pokemon. So, hey, what's your favorite Pokemon starter in this new lot?
Not the water type.
Not the duck? Not the Donald Duck?
No.
He looks like JoJo.
Probably the fire one.
Okay. Which is like a dragon. Woo!
Wait, maybe the earth.
Okay.
I'm waffling
maybe
here.
the earth? What?
Grass type. Sorry.
Grass type.
My Pokemon knowledge is showing.
Well, then here, let's finish with the last actual real news story.
Sure.
Nintendo is shuttering the Wii U and 3DS's eShop. You can no longer make purchases, and then soon enough, you won't be able to download a single thing.
Yes. Which is a damn shame.
And they're like, okay, but Nintendo, you plan to port these to the Switch? You plan to make them available for other types of purchases? And Nintendo goes, no, we have no plans.
Right.
And to which anyone who gives a shit about the Wii U 3DS catalog goes, guess I'm a criminal.
Right.
Because they're going to pirate. Yeah. What choice does it give you then to go acquire it by extra legal means?
To the high seas for me.
If you want, I was gonna say Professor Layton. What's like a game that you won't be able to get from this?
Fire Emblem Awake. Well,
De Blob.
Yeah, I don't know exactly.
We're the last people.
The last people to ask.
Yeah, this is a Scott the Woz question,
right?
Because it's almost like they're cutting off his life support because he's tethered to the Wii U.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a weird for folks who don't give a shit about games. It's so weird for a digital. I mean, that's the nature of digital purchases. You're at the mercy of online marketplaces. But for them to be like, yeah, you're not going to get a classics collection down the line is like, this is almost like it's just as wacky as the forced obsolescence of the Mario All-Stars pack.
Oh, yeah, that old chestnut.
Yeah, so Nintendo continuing to be a dinosaur in the digital age.
Yeah, it's hardly surprising. This is par for the course for them. Like, all those digital Wii purchases are gone. The virtual console is gone. This is why I'm totally fine having my PC not have a disk drive, but I buy all of my Nintendo games physically.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't trust...
Oh, no. Wait, I bought like Animal Crossing and Odyssey and...
Enjoy them while you have them.
Oh, no. Oh, when's the Switch getting deprecated?
I mean, realistically, when Switch gets deprecated in 2026, do you really want to be
Wait,
playing
it's
them?
2026?
That's my guess. Marking it now.
The Switch feels so hot still because Bailey plays it on occasion.
It could be later.
We're still doing Animal Crossing, still.
I just pulled a number out of thin air.
Oh, I know, but that's like, ooh.
I'm thinking about it. Let's see.
It's not unthinkable.
The Wii U is getting shut down in this year, right?
Like 8 years after it came out?
It's 2022. It released in 2012, so it's 10 years.
Oh, 10 years. Okay.
So if the Switch follows suit,
2028.
2027. It came out in 2017.
All right, cool. And that's all the news.
And that's all the news. And that's the show?
That's the show.
How long did we record for?
You want to think of a game and I'll do 20 questions?
Nah. We'll do that next time.
I re-listened to the Just Dance ABBA.
Yeah.
That's a hit. That's such a good episode.
Oh, good. With Bailey.
With Bailey, yeah.
We needed that teamwork to get there.
Episode 55?
It was in early 2021.
Yeah.
Whatever number that
Whatever
was.
number that was.
Cool.
So my job is just to finish Mass Effect 1
yes.
before March 30th.
Because that's when
the
Director's
Death
Cut?
Stranding. Yep.
Okay.
And then 13 Sentinels the month following.
That is going to be so fun to talk about.
I have to do that. I have to. The fact I haven't been spoiled yet is kind of miraculous. I have this month to Mass Effect and Outer Wilds DLC. It is the space month.
Listeners probably can't hear it, but I am rubbing my hands together in anticipation.
I gotta get it out of the way.
It's so good.
Yeah. So that's me.
For me, I will be finishing Yakuza Kiwami, and then, I don't know, I might play something dumb like Scarlet Nexus.
Wait, that's the lady legs, right?
Lady likes
Thank
flower enemies.
That is stupid.
I might relapse and dive back into Total War Warhammer.
I've seen like an ogre playthrough.
Yeah, the third game just came out this month, getting great reviews.
Looks chill.
I'm hyped up because of the recent release. Might play as some dark elves.
I haven't seen a single Cathay.
No. People are hot on the chaos demons.
Wait, you're fighting those though.
You can play as them. There are 4 separate playable factions of demons.
Wait, the chaos demons. Oh wait, you had me guess it at one point.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah. Wait. They plague the rest of the world, but that you can also play as them.
Yeah. If you're playing as Cathay, you're probably fighting them. If you play as them, you're trying to conquer Cathay and Kislev.
Yeah.
But they're removing Kislev from the game because of the Russian incursions into Ukraine.
Oh, I love.
I just made that up.
Oh no, that's the kind of stupid solidarity that I still clap for. I literally clapped for it.
Imagine them just removing one of the main factions from the game, which took probably years of development time to make just because of this.
Yeah.
And it's not like they're actually Russia; they're just based on Russia.
That would be kind of funny though. No, leave it in, but just don't sell the game on Russian stores.
Sure.
That's the show.
That is Mobius Tubes.
Yeah.
You can write us an email if you want to. Send it to mobiustubespodcast@gmail.com.
Please write in what you thought of the woman in the house at the dark of the night of the into the woods. And tell me if you guessed the big twist before it happened. It caught me by surprise, and that's all I'm gonna say about it. I almost said something revealing.
Yes, send those emails to Heath. For me, your homework is to listen to the entirety of the Metal Gear Rising soundtrack, and then send me your favorite song and least favorite song, and I'll tell you if you pass or not.
And your favorite quotes from Metal Gear Rising.
Yeah, and it better be I'm making the mother of all omelets, Jack. You got to break a few eggs.
Okay, end on that. That's great.
All right, bye.